Hey y'all, welcome. It's your girl Queens No Keish, and we are on day 24 of this 28-day live stream. I'm super excited. We're about to get into a powerful conversation with my girl Carmen, Coach Carmen. She is just that girl. So I'm gonna have her come in here and just tell you guys a little bit about herself. But I'm just so grateful to be able to share the people who mean the most to me in my life on this stream. Okay, so y'all let's just bring Carmen in. Let's just get right into it. Let's do it. Hey Carmen.
Tell y'all right now, don't go into your 40s because you get pains that you don't understand. All right? It's like y'all stay away from here. Y'all stay away from here. Lord have mercy.
They happen in the 30s too now. I feel my bones. My bones feel like they.
Okay, I just did a lean right quick, and then all of a sudden, like, all my ribs was coming out the right side. Like, hey, y'all.
Funny. Okay, you know this is gonna be a good night. Go ahead, Carmen. Tell the people.
Good evening. I am Coach Carmen B, owner, founder of Healthy Energy, Actively Living, also known as HEAL, where I teach women how to foster wellness for sustainable success through leadership transformation.
Love that. Carmen's humble, y'all. Carmen be doing everything. First of all, Carmen was just listen, everything, and still just be looking good. Okay. First of all, she was the TED Talk speaker in 2020. I can't believe it was 2024. Right. I feel like it was just yesterday.
Right.
A TED Talk speaker, honey. Like, listen.
Every time I think about, sometimes, especially as an entrepreneur, sometimes you may say to yourself, man, I feel like I'm doing so much, but then I also feel like I'm not doing nothing. And then when you really sit back and think about it, you be like, I'm busy.
I'm doing stuff.
The world wants you to think that you should be, you should be here, you should be there, you should be there. And sometimes that'll get in your head and make you start thinking like, I should have been got this, or I should have been to this. But when you really sit back and think about all that you've done as an entrepreneur, all you've accomplished, you're like, you know what? I'm doing pretty good.
I'm doing all right. We making it. We here. You know what I was just telling a friend is that sometimes as women, I feel like we struggle celebrating our wins.
Absolutely.
And even if they're small ones. And I think what happens when we don't celebrate our wins is that we don't feel like we're winning, right? And we just feel like, well, I need to get to the next. This wasn't even a part of that's how I knew this today was just move how it's going to move.
It's true. We just jumping from one thing to another.
Just jump. And it's never like you're acknowledging. It's like the celebration is acknowledged. You think about a little kid and how much confidence they get when the parent tells them like, you're doing great. They're celebrating their wins. And the child who's celebrated along the journey is the most confident, is the one that's like, I can do it. It's not that the child isn't going to be able to celebrate in the future. It just allows
but you're teaching them, you're instilling joy and celebration, not grind and hustle, which is what a lot of us were taught. We were taught grind, hustle, don't rest, no self-care, just keep pushing. And then when you win, keep pushing so you can win again, as opposed to, celebration is also rest, right? Like there is also celebration and saying, you know what?
Yes.
I'm gonna rest, right? I'm gonna go to the spa. I'm gonna take my bowl bath. I'm gonna go buy me some flowers and just, rest in my femininity and rest in my softness. Like that's also celebration, right?
Yeah, that's so good. What do you think I know we didn't play video here, but that's okay. We're just gonna let vibes move how they move. What do you think it is that I know it's the hustle and bustle, but what is it that you think it is that we don't allow ourselves to celebrate or acknowledge our wins, or we just, you know, part of me is like
I would say,
but I want to hear what you have to say for sure.
There were many factors, right? I would say the first one is fair, which is, what we did want to talk about or will
Right.
talk about, right? Is
Yes.
the impact fear will have on your ability to experience the joy
Mm.
in the journey, in any journey, right?
And that's
Fear
so
will
good.
impact your ability to experience joy in your relationships, right? In your business, in your careers, in your
Mm.
friendships. Like
Yeah.
fear will block so much, right? The fear of failure, the fear of not being accepted, the fear of not being understood, not being loved, not being valued, the fear of not meeting the needs of others and pleasing others. Like there were so many fears that come up that can block joy, right? That can block your ability
Mm.
to celebrate who you are, who God made you. Like God made you amazing without the accolades, like without
Yes.
all the things. Celebrate in yourself just because. Like it doesn't always have to be because you did something great, just because you are great, right? Is a
Yes.
reason.
Come
Great.
on.
But I would say another really big one is the desire for external validation,
From
right?
people that don't even know us.
From people that don't know you, but not only that, from people that don't validate themselves, right? Like often we're seeking approval and validation from people who are struggling to even like themselves, right? Who are struggling to even love themselves, and we're working so hard for that recognition, for someone to tell you you're good enough, yet you're on the right path, you're doing a good job. And the first thing we have to learn is to do that for ourselves, right? To look at ourselves, to value ourselves, to say to ourselves, you are doing good. You are on the right path. You are being obedient. And I believe that when you give that to yourself, then when someone else says to you, wow, you're doing a great job, that's not validation, that's confirmation,
Yeah, you
right?
like I already know. Yeah, I'm
Right, you
definitely.
confirmed what I already know, right? And I'm glad you see it. I'm glad you feel it, right? And so it's nothing wrong with people telling you you're doing great, but let that be a confirmation of what you already know. Now, I will say there's always two sides to the coin, baby. All right. So I will say the only external validation you'll ever need is that money, honey. Okay, I'm on the right path. I'm getting paid. That is validation that okay, I'm doing the right
Right,
thing. People
right.
are calling me for my services. People are calling me to speak. Okay, that's validation that I'm on the right path. That's validation that I'm showing up properly and that people are seeing it, right? That's the
Yeah,
only validation you'll ever need is that paper, right?
yeah,
As a woman in business, as a man in business, when you are getting paid, now that is the external validation that says I'm moving in the right direction. I'm serving people well. People are liking what I'm doing. I'm going to
yeah.
keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep elevating in this space
Hey,
for
thumbs
that
up.
validation. Girl, you know, right? But so the thing is to really think about
Mm,
when you're feeling that that inability to celebrate yourself,
mm.
where you're feeling like you don't deserve to be celebrated, is really taking a step back and doing that self-assessment to ask yourself, where are these thoughts coming from? Where
Yeah.
is the need to grind? Sometimes, it could be as a kid having parents that only celebrated you when you did something
Mm,
well, or the opposite. People telling you you're not enough. You're
mm.
not good enough, right? Like those were the contributors to me being an overachiever, right?
Yeah.
Like being told like you're stupid, you're not worthy, you'll never be anything. So now I worked so hard to prove something to people that never loved me anyway and never could love me, right?
Y'all, this. Go ahead,
So
Carmen.
these,
This is
these
good.
so these are the things
Yeah.
that we have to think about when we are struggling internally.
Hmm.
Where is that coming from? Where are those messages coming from that are telling me I'm not enough and not worthy of celebrating myself? Forget being celebrated, of
Right.
celebrating myself.
That part. That
Right?
that part. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people get uncomfortable too. I think even just growing up, I think with less than and feeling like, well, I have to keep this thing coming. I have to,
Yeah.
I don't get
Even when
back.
you're already winning.
And it's like you're not there. You're not in the poverty. You're not in the projects no more. You're not. Life has
Yeah.
changed, right? And you're not gonna go back. So it's like, I think too, it's trusting that you have everything you need at the moment, right now. Everything you need.
Also making peace with your past. Right? Like you have to be friends with your past, friends with the poverty that pushed you to and inspired you to do better, inspired you to build something magnificent, to build something excellent. Like, how did poverty support you? And even in that time, did you eat, sis?
Right.
Right? Did you have clothes? Did you have what you needed to get by each day? You know what? Poverty, thank you for keeping me when you did, and now I'm moving on, right? When I
Right.
look back at when I was poor, to be honest, in poverty, it humbles you, right? Like I definitely grew up
Makes
in
you
poverty.
creative too.
It,
Creative.
it makes you, it gives you so much gratitude, right? And so instead of being afraid that you might go back there, it's, man, God, you brought me through,
That's
right?
good.
Like I'm a
Respect.
first generation homeowner, right? I'm a first generation entrepreneur. I don't have anyone in my immediate family who's ever started a business or owned a home. And all I could say is, God, they told me I couldn't, but you, you know what I mean?
I knew
And
tonight was gonna be good. I knew it. Okay. All right.
it's
Okay.
like making peace with all the things that were painful. This is something also, just as we're on this topic, as I was reading my journal,
Yeah.
doing my journal, which we are both doing. As I was
Girl.
doing my journal today, one of the things that she talked about is recognizing that your pain is a part of your identity, but how is it pushing you into purpose? If not for my pain, sis, we wouldn't be having these conversations. Right? If not for the struggles I've been through, we wouldn't be having these conversations. But now I realize that my pain and struggle is not for me. It's for me to bring somebody else out, right? For me to support someone else. So make peace with those things so that they can no longer keep you in bondage, but that they can all actually set you free.
Girl, somebody just said yes on Instagram. There are hands up because yes, that's
Yes,
the only way that we can like let it go. Like let it serve what its purpose was,
that's
right?
right.
That's
There
it.
is
It's not
peace and release, baby.
mm,
Right?
yeah.
Like there is peace and release. And you
Please.
can't you can't change the story, right? And so become the narrator of how the story ends, right? Is
Yeah.
that going to defeat you, or are you going to be a conqueror, right?
Mm, mm,
Over that pain, over those trials and tribulations. Like, sis, in that pain, I didn't know who I was. But when I was able to step out of the pain and look at it, I was like, "Oh, I'm a warrior.
I'm a
You
fighter.
know, I'm a fighter.
I'm a fighter for real.
I will survive.
Hey,
Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I
woo.
stay alive."
I
Right?
got all my life to live.
That's right. Right? But when you step out of the pain
So
and
good.
you look back at it, okay, okay, I see what you was here for,
Yeah, it
right? And
served its
so
purpose.
I'm no longer angry at my trauma. I'm grateful for it. I can
Yeah.
have gratitude for the things that have hurt me because they have shaped me, right? To be that person that someone needs. It's hard to support someone when you don't understand. I'm not saying you can't support them, but
Right.
when you have an understanding of what they've been through, that's where transformation can happen, because you can say, you know what? I know it impacted me, and here's how I was able to turn that around. But like when I was writing my journal this month, I was like, but why I have to have all these things? Well, I ain't gonna question you. Hey,
why all these things?
Why I have to have all the things? You know what I'm saying? Like Keish, me and you have sat down and had some conversations.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean. Like, why? I mean, I had to have all the things.
Did I have to go through all that? You know what I'm saying?
Connect with all the people. But I'm not gonna question it. I'm not gonna question it, because I'd be like, look at me now.
Yeah. And you are
God
amazing. Listen, you are amazing.
His favor.
All around you.
All around me, sis.
Yeah, he's good. He is good. And it's evident that he is good to you. Okay. Y'all, this is what I love about talking to Carmen, because this wasn't even the goal or the intention for tonight, but God had other plans. And I think that conversation is definitely going to go into what we're here for today. So there's a verse, it's actually from the journal, that I was like, ooh, this is going to be good, because I know Carmen going to just break this down so good. Okay, look. Yes. So Proverbs 14, verse 1. It says, the wise woman built her house. So let's before we go anywhere, a wise woman built her house. There's so many, I feel like I could go into different directions with this, but the fact that there's a house being built and it's by a woman, she can build this house, she can build this foundation, she can build a solid place where you can come in and out, where you can have your peace, where you can sip your tea.
She can build the legacy.
She can. It's possible. So for everybody who always thinks the Bible is always men, no, God is very intentional. And let's just keep going. It says, the wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands, the foolish one tears hers down.
That's right.
Okay, that's that.
That's right.
Y'all want to hear that? Okay, we love to empower women. We love to talk about all these things, but with those same hands in the same women that can be foolish, right? You know the way that you should go, but sometimes we don't always do it, right? And that foolishness can lead to us tearing down the very thing we built.
Right. So let's think about the root word of wise. Wisdom, right?
Wisdom, yes.
How do we gain wisdom? Living life.
Experiences, yeah.
Right. And so all that stuff we just talked about, all the painful stuff, right? All the wins, all the loss. I mean, it is all a part of wisdom.
Wow.
So to be wise is to know how to utilize that wisdom.
Okay, now you tapped in. Okay, yes, immediately, yes.
To be wise is to have discernment. Because guess what? We all have wisdom, but are you wise? Right? Having wisdom doesn't mean you're wise.
Yeah.
Wisdom is gained through life experiences, and we have all been through something, right? If you are a day old, you've been through something. A baby done came in this world, and you did not give that baby that milk when it cried for 5 minutes, and he was like, "Oh no, I am going through
hunger. I'm going through hunger."
Where is the people with my milk? Give me a titty, give me a bottle, give me something. Right? And when that bottle comes, that baby knows immediately. That baby's mouth already perked up before the bottle even gets, because the baby has already developed the wisdom that when something touches my lip, that means it's time to start sucking. That's wisdom.
That's good. That's good.
Right? It's what the baby knows. Suck. Right? So every day we are developing wisdom through our life experiences.
Right.
Well, only the person who knows how to take them experiences and build a house. is wise. Right?
Ooh.
Take those experiences and build a business. Take those experiences and nurture your career. Take those experiences and take care of your family. Take those experiences and change your community, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That is the purpose of your wisdom. So, if you're not wise, if you're not a person that sits back and thinks about how can I turn this pain into purpose? How can I use this gift that I've been blessed with? We all have gifts. Some of us have 1 or 2. Some of us have 10 or 15.
Okay. And that's,
and that's a fact. And that's a fact, right? The question is, what are you doing with all the things that you have been given? And if you are able to take all the things that you have been given to build whatever you're building, then you are wise. But if you sit back and wait on someone to tell you what you're supposed to build, who you are, right? Because using your wisdom, you also shape your identity, right? To tell you who you are. Oh, you know what? You know what people tell me all the time? Carmen, you're such a good cook. You should consider opening a restaurant. I ain't no chef.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I could have taken that and said, you know what? I am a good cook. I should be a chef. God did not tell me to be no chef.
Yeah.
He never even whispered it in my ear.
Yeah.
Right? But I can let someone else's thoughts tell me, because that's what you're good at, that's what you should do. And therefore I go do it. That's a foolish woman. Right? Because you're listening to man and not to the messages that are being sent to your heart, right? Not to your mind, because it starts here in your heart with passion, that feeling of purpose, that drive, that thing that pulls you like, oh, but you know what? So many people don't go forward with the thing that pulls them because it ain't shiny enough.
It ain't glittering.
Right? It ain't glittering. Ever since I was young, I don't know why, but I was so drawn to fitness. In high school, I would get up in the morning, ride my bike to school, leave school, go do some squats in a park somewhere. I don't know why. I don't know why I was doing that. Then my friends saw me doing it. Oh, can we work out with you? I don't know how to do that. But when it was time to go to school, everything in me said, you should go to school for fitness because there's for some reason you love it. But you know what? It didn't seem like something that people would celebrate. So I did not do it. I went to school and did the business degree and got the master's, all the things that I thought people would look at me for. But guess what? That calling on my heart to be a wellness representative in this world never quieted. I got all them degrees and didn't give a daggone about them. But the moment I got a personal training certification, a health coach certification, and a nutrition coach certification, I've never been happier in my life. And those didn't cost me half as much. You see what I'm saying?
Come on, certifications.
But those did not cost me half as much as the degree I'm still paying for. You see what I'm saying? But I was happier because I listened to what God was saying. He was like, no, I need you to get the people healthy. I need you to get the people healthy, mind, body, and soul. I need you to go. That's what I want you to do. Forget all that other stuff, right? And so my wisdom told me, build a wellness business. Because it's you watched your family die from all types of lifestyle diseases. You're watching the people around you with the diabetes and the heart health and the obesity. And this is something that you're good at. People love coaching with you. Right? And my wellness business has just evolved into so much. But I'm building a house based on what God put here and on my wisdom. Right? I'm not even using the degrees that I got and still paying for.
But you said the degrees with an S, okay? Degrees.
Listen, 3 degrees, sis, associates, bachelors, and masters. And for what?
I know, but still, you worked hard.
But so remember we talked a little bit about earlier about the fear, right? And the inability to celebrate ourselves. And my fear was not being validated. And so I got degrees for validation.
Wow.
I still was not validated.
The people in the back. What did you just say?
Right. I got all those degrees for external validation because I never one day wanted to get not one of them degrees. Wow. Not one day did I want not one of those degrees. You understand what I'm saying? But because the people told me I would never amount to anything, I gave them my power. I gave them control over my actions, over my emotions, over my thoughts. And I said, I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove to you that I'm good enough. Not realizing I was already enough with or without their validation. Right? But getting those wellness certifications and building a wellness business, that was all the validation because God said, I don't care what you do. I'm not gonna bless you the way you want to be blessed until you do what I told you to do. I don't care that you did all that stuff because you didn't do it for me. God had nothing to do with it. You understand, right? And so a foolish woman would continue to seek and do things that are not connected to her purpose, to her identity, to who she was created to be. Right? And as you are building the business, how can you tear it down when you start allowing people's thoughts to get into your mind? Right? The same way you can build something, you tear it down by allowing others to control the way you think, the way you show up, by allowing those negative thoughts to play over and over again. And more importantly, by not celebrating yourself with self-care. Right? Because you can build the house, but if you're not healthy enough, mind, body, soul, and spirit to continue building, honey, it all comes crashing down.
That's right.
You get sick, you can't move, you can't work, you can't do none of the things that you aspire to do. Why? Because fear told you you don't need to be celebrated. You can't take no time off. You don't need no sleep. You don't need to be taking care of yourself. Exercise. You can do that when the new year starts. Honey, it's July. Talking about I'm going to start next year. It's February. Talking about I'm going to start. You know what? The year already started and I'm busy. So you know what? I'm going to start my wellness journey next year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I promised you next year.
Listen, we guys. She said, stop talking about my business. Lord, I feel so convicted. Listen.
And when you running like that, you're not doing it for God.
Yeah.
When you running and not taking care of yourself, you're not taking care of the vessel because the vessel is the only thing that can build the house.
Yeah.
The vessel, mind, body, soul, spirit is the only thing that can build the house and make it sustainable.
Yeah.
Right? We're working towards sustainability. Right? Not always in the grind, but if you are working to build something and not taking time to prioritize your wellness, baby, you are not doing it for God.
Yeah, that's tough.
You're doing it for money. You're doing it for recognition. You're doing it for the jewelry and the clothes.
Yeah.
Right? You're doing it for trips, but you're not doing it for God. Because you will respect your body. You will respect your needs. I know your body said, listen, let me get a little sleep. And you said, you know what? I only need 4 hours. You know how many times I hear that from people? Honestly, I don't even need 6 or 7. I only need 4 hours and I'll be good. So why are you drinking all that coffee then, sis?
Why you half asleep? Why you half asleep?
If you don't need no sleep and you good on 4 hours, why are you drinking all that coffee? Sis, why you need that coffee first thing in the morning? Because you're tired. Sis, I ain't drunk coffee in 3 years.
Woo.
You know why? I gave it up. I traded coffee for self-care.
Wow.
Right?
I don't think they want to hear that. You coming for that coffee, Carmen? You coming for that coffee?
Listen. The need, not desire. The need for coffee, Red Bulls, all those things is because you're not taking care of your body. The body has everything you need, but you're running your body into the ground. That's what a foolish woman does. That's how a foolish woman breaks down her kingdom, breaks down what she's building, breaks down her house, tears it up, lights it on fire by neglecting her vessel.
Carmen, you said something, and I was like, my brother says this too. He's also big on health in the body, and he says, what is it if you get to the millions and you can't function? You in a hospital bed.
Can't function. Can't do nothing.
What is it? What is it?
Let me tell you why you can't enjoy the millions. Because it goes to your doctor's bills. It goes to your pills. It goes to all the medication you need. It goes to the therapist. It goes to all the things that you need to manage your illness. You can't enjoy the money if it goes to managing your illness. Look at the people in our lives. My aunts, my family, doctor's appointments 3-4 days a week.
Oh my God. Can we?
Is that living? That's not living. That's not living. Yeah. All the money they got to spend on medication every week. That's not living. Right? And so forget the fact that you'll be too tired to enjoy the money. Honey, you ain't gonna have no money. And don't forget, this is America. This is America. Yeah. We don't have a healthcare system. We have a sick care system. They want to keep you sick so they can keep your money coming.
Damn.
Remember that.
Carmen, you go in.
They have no desire to heal you. If they had a desire to heal you, you would not need to be at the hospital 4 days a week, baby.
That's facts.
When you go to the hospital, do they ask you, what are you eating? Let's go through your diet. What's your exercise routine like? What's your rest routine like? Nope. First thing, we're going to just write this prescription.
Let's give you some melatonin. Let's give you some sleeping
pills. Melatonin. Give you some of this and some of that.
You tell them you can't sleep. All of a sudden, now you got 5 prescriptions for sleep.
You got 5. Because guess what? One prescription counters the other. This prescription now, because of this pill, you got this. So we got to take this pill to keep the impact of this one down. Hey. Now that we're having this conversation, I want y'all to be more intentional and mindful about the prescription medication commercials that come on. Pay attention. I love them because when they might cause insomnia, vomiting, everything
but death. Everything but death.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. Me and my son literally can't. We always are waiting for the end of the commercial to hear that so we can die. We laugh.
Yo, they really do that.
Can hear it. I want you to listen to the Wegovy commercial. Now, these are all the new weight loss drugs that people are killing themselves to get. I want you to listen to the side effects at the end of every single one of those commercials. Sure, you're going to lose the weight, but you're going to get something else. I'm going to sip some tea to that.
Let me sip my water. Carmen coming for all of y'all next.
Right? So
yeah,
you have to love yourself into success.
Yes.
Don't kill yourself into success. Don't burn yourself out into success. You have to love yourself into success. Right?
They're asking for your info on Instagram. She said I have to go, but please share. I will personally DM you Carmen's information. She's amazing. Y'all, she's amazing. Just listen. This is
y'all. Heal was Carmen B. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not that anymore. It's just Coach Carmen B. So the same as my title here, Coach Carmen B on Instagram.
I'm in the chat right now on Instagram. Coach.
Yeah.
Carmen B. There we go. I put it in the chat. Coach Carmen B, y'all. She going in. This is such a good word. This is such a good word that is needed, and it's not really just for the women. I think this
It's for
definitely
everybody.
is for everybody for sure. It's
It's
for
for everybody.
everybody.
I mean, if we got men in here, you know, I know we're talking about women building houses, right? Because we are builders,
Yeah.
but our men are our leaders. And if our men
Come
are
on.
not leading, right, by taking care of themselves so that they can be amazing providers for us,
Yeah.
amazing leaders for us, amazing protectors for us. You can't protect me, honey, if you over there laying down burnt out. How you gonna protect me? How
Right.
you gonna provide for me when all your money goes to the hospitals and the doctors?
Mm.
Okay? Because that's the reality. Our men, we love you.
We do. We do.
We love you.
We love
And
y'all.
guess what? One of the greatest challenges we're seeing in the world right now in relationships is men deeming women masculine and controlling on all this stuff. But here's the thing: if there is no man to lead, what do we do?
Child.
Take the
Lead
reins.
us. Lead us.
Listen, you heard what the Bible said. A woman can build us. We can do it,
Yeah.
but we want you to do it.
Yeah.
And so, just even for our men who are building business, you have to love yourself into success. Same way,
That's good. So good.
by taking care of yourself so that you can always be that man,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, trust me, it's not easy, but it's so worth it,
Mm.
right? When we think about self love, on the internet, we talk about self love. People talk about roses and all the
I'm
nice
very
stuff.
Oh, look at the heart.
Right?
Facts. All the works.
But the truth is,
Yeah.
self love is those things that are most challenging,
Mm.
right? It's the getting up first thing in the morning to say, you know what, I'm about to go move my body.
Ooh.
It's the choosing a nice grilled chicken salad over the cheeseburger. Look, we all want the cheeseburger. We all want the pizza. But when you can say, you know what, I can actually have those things anytime
Yeah.
because I am working on restoring my health. I'm going to choose this. That is self love. It's those things that are hardest to
Mm.
do, setting boundaries in relationships,
Talk
right?
about
Walking away from things or people or experiences that are no longer serving you. That is self-love. That is saying I am worth hard decisions,
mm. And I can
right?
make them. I
And I
can
can
make
make them.
them.
I can make them.
I can make them, especially with men. I feel like you can make the decision.
You can. You can. And think about who you'll be, right? When you think about the decision that you may be struggling to make, who would I be if I made this decision over and
Mm.
over and over again? Who would I be?
Yeah.
Right? What would my life look like? What would my business look like? What would my body look like? Where would my mental health be? That is one of the biggest struggles for everybody right
Ooh.
now, right? Is that mental health. Where would that be? We are in dark times right now, right?
Yeah.
We are like, something's happening in America. We got plane crashes every couple weeks,
I'm like, what's
right?
happening?
Right.
Y'all, what's fine?
They put the narcissist back in the White House, right? I turned on the TV yesterday. Beautiful black family, man done killed his whole family, right? Like, people are struggling right now. And so, in the struggle, continuing to do the same things and hoping for different results,
Ooh,
that's the
insanity.
definition of insanity.
Insanity.
That is and guess what? You wonder why you feeling like you're going crazy. You are driving yourself insane because you are not committed to doing the hard work. The moment you commit to doing the things that will challenge you the most, that's where the shift will happen. That's where the transformation takes place.
So good.
You don't build muscles by lifting cheeseburgers.
Oh, got the cheeseburger because I had one yesterday.
Right?
Facts.
But we build muscle, we build stamina, we build confidence, we build integrity, we build self-love, all by doing the hard lifting. Everything builds there.
Yeah.
Even gratitude.
That's so true. Even the verse that says, it's how it says the wise woman builds her house. Like, she ain't lifting small stuff if she's building the house.
Listen, building a house ain't easy. You seen the people outside building houses?
Right. That's heavy lifting. That's heavy lifting for sure. Yeah.
But guess what? Building a house is a team effort. The wise woman knows who's on her team. She knows who her support is.
Yeah, that's good.
The wise woman knows the community she needs to be immersed in, the type of people she needs to be surrounding herself with, right? Because the wise woman builds a house. She may be leading the project, but she's not doing it alone. She's not doing it in her own strength.
That's good.
Because she's too wise for that. She know to ask God for what she need. God, I need an electrician. God, I need a plumber. God, I need a carpenter. I need a painter, right? So when you think about your business, and the reason why we struggle again to celebrate ourselves, to take care of ourselves, is because we're trying to do it all on our own. We're not asking for support, right? We're not immersing ourselves in a community of like-minded individuals. Even if it's not someone doing work on your business, it could be someone saying, "Oh yeah, I've done that before. Let me tell you how to do it." Right? Me and Keisha, I'll be like, "Oh, Keish, do you know how to do this, or where I can find it?" "Oh yeah, I got that," and vice versa. If she asks me, "Oh yeah, sis, I know." Right? I don't have to be doing the work in her business, but because she's wise to know, let me seek counsel from my people.
That part.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's really think about that word, wise. It's a powerful word.
It is.
And I really want all of you tuning in to ask yourself, am I wise?
Or foolish? Am I foolish? Am I wise? Am I foolish?
And look, what makes me wise? What makes me foolish?
Yeah. Am I building or am I tearing? Right? That's how you're gonna know. If you're building, then okay, girl, you in the category of wise. If you are tearing down your own house.
That's right. And remember, that house also includes relationships. Right? Are you building your relationships, or are you tearing them down?
Yeah.
Are you pouring? Are you building this body? Are you building this vessel? Or are you tearing it down? Right? Because everybody's in the house. Remember that. There's people in the house. You in the house. There's a lot going on with a house. Right?
Yeah.
You have to look at every area of your life and ask yourself, where am I building and where am I sabotaging?
Usually, when we sabotage too, it's because we don't think we deserve it, right? The relationship.
Absolutely.
I've been guilty of that. I have to raise my guilty. Especially with relationships, you don't feel like you deserve this person, or it's too good to be true. So let me stop it. Stop it. Are you building or are you tearing down?
That's right. But what's the opposite of that? Sabotaging your self-worth by staying somewhere that doesn't serve you.
Carmen, don't you start. Don't you? Carmen.
Right? Because sometimes we can do that. We can meet someone great and ask myself, like, am I even worthy of this? And we can sabotage it by acting a damn fool.
Okay, no sense.
No sense. But also we can get with someone who doesn't serve us and tell ourselves, well, at least he's there. At least he's here. At least he's with me. At least he, takes me out every now and then. At least he calls me. At least he's giving me some attention. But deep down, you're sensing something deeper, something more meaningful, something transformational. But because you're willing to sit in mediocrity, you are sabotaging your self-worth.
So good.
Right? But guess what else you're doing? Blocking your blessings.
Blocking your blessings.
Because the longer you hold on to anything that doesn't belong to you, you block what God's trying to pour into you.
Ooh. So good. That's
right?
Fact. That's fact.
And so we have to look at, for me, there's always two sides of the coin. You got to be willing to look at both. In every area of your life. Where are you building? Where are you sabotaging? For our moms, right? If you're a mom, where are you building your babies up? Where are you building your kids up? Where may you be sabotaging your own child? Your relationship with your child. And not intentional, right? While it's not intentional, it doesn't change the impact. You may have said, that's not what I was trying to do. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change the impact.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why that self-awareness is so important.
Yeah. That's so good. Yo, we have to bring Carmen back. Wait, Carmen. We ain't even getting to the stuff that literally.
We got into what we were supposed to get into.
That's honestly what it is. I kid you not.
Y'all, we got into what we were supposed to get into.
We did. My girl Jen is definitely, I gotta send you her information too, because they're the oohs and the ahs and even me, I feel like, oh my God, right, Carmen, you going in right now. Like I'm sorry, right? Y'all. Just recovering.
But Keisha, so how do we improve our ability to build with intention? Right? Because listen, we can build anything, but if it's not intentional, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How do you improve that? Right? And that really starts with knowing who you are.
I was just about to say, you got to tap in with the source. He gonna tell you who you are. He gonna tell you why you was made. He gonna show you. He gonna in a dream, and through a friend, through a song.
You know what I'm gonna say? He ain't gonna tell you. He already told you. You fighting it.
Say it again for the people.
He already told you. You come on. If you did now, listen. If you on this stream, you good and grown. He's been told you. Okay.
Oh my God, I gotta.
If you on this stream, you good and grown. He been told you. You playing around, right? Look how often we wrestle with God. So it's like, no, that's not what I want. That's not what I prayed for.
Meanwhile, what you prayed for is right in front of you, and you need to
right in front of you. Right? But because you want that thing that looks better in your mind, that you have told yourself is better than what you've been given, you can't even receive the blessing. And so that requires you to sit still. Do some writing. What has been on your heart?
Yeah.
What have you felt called to do in every area of your life? Parenting, relationships, your business, whatever. What have you felt called to do, but you keep ignoring it? You keep ignoring it.
Yeah, that's good.
What's important to you? What are your values?
Yeah.
Are you talking to God regularly so that you can strengthen that phone line, that Wi-Fi connection? That GPS. I like to call GPS my godly positioning system, right? When
Carmen,
you are tapped into
I need
God,
that
your
on the shirt.
GPS.
I need that on the shirt, Carmen, immediately. Okay,
Listen, right? You
Carmen.
know how, let me tell you, just like your GPS do, rerouting. Rerouting.
Wow.
That's what God does when you tapped in. One thing I always thank God for is direct. Thank you, Lord, for directing and redirecting me.
They don't
Because
like
like anybody else, listen, like anybody else, sometimes I make a U-turn. No, this way.
Go back.
What GPS tell you? Rerouting. Listen, you took a wrong turn, but I'm gonna get you right. Go this way. Ain't that what the GPS do, sis?
Yeah.
Rerouting.
You're
Right?
lost. You're not the right way.
When you are tapped in, your GPS signal is strong. Strong.
Yeah, you could hear that sharp left. Yeah.
Right? And sometimes it come with a lesson. Right? When you're being redirected, sometimes it hurts. That might mean, hey, you know what? This is not the customers I'm supposed to be working with. This is not the job I'm supposed to be working at. This is not the relationship I'm supposed to be in. This is not the burger I'm supposed to be eating. I should have got a turkey burger, or I probably should have got a salmon burger that was a little more healthy and let go of this red meat. And now I got indigestion. Redirecting.
Carmen, why you keep coming for the burger? I had a burger.
Right? When you eat that foolishness and you get that crazy indigestion and you feel like it's trying to come up, that's God saying rerouting. You know you shouldn't have ate it. But listen, I'm going to show you the direction you should be going in. Next time, get a salad. Right? That relationship that is so painful, that relationship that is giving you anxiety and depression and making you feel like you're unworthy, that's just called rerouting. You went the wrong way. Yeah. And as long as you keep traveling in the wrong direction, the more pain you're going to have. Damn. Until you listen to the redirection. Yeah. Because let me tell you, the pastor said yesterday in church, which I really valued, God speaks to the godly and the ungodly, right? So listen, no judgment for those who are not there yet, right? Who are trying to really walk that walk with God, who are trying to figure it out. But just because you're not there yet doesn't mean God's not speaking to you.
That's facts. That is facts.
Right? My sons, both of them, drive me crazy. And half the time they don't do nothing I tell them to. Like right now, it is 8:26. I told my son to get in the shower 45 minutes ago. I'm sure he's not in there. But guess what? Just because they don't listen to me, my oldest, who's 27, barely do anything I tell him to do. Yeah. But just because he hasn't done the things I've directed doesn't mean I'm going to stop talking to him.
But doesn't mean he's not your son. He's still your son.
Right. And so that when we think about God, our Father, just because you haven't done half the things He's told you to do, doesn't mean He's going to give up. He's not going to give up on you. He's going to keep saying, hey, all right now. Hey. Oh, okay.
Love is patient. Love is patient. He will love you through. He will love you through. I love that you said that.
All of it.
I think a lot of people feel like they have to be this or do this or, have I don't know what they be thinking, but it's not the case. If you understand that God loves you, despite where you are, that voice, that guide, He'll always be there, even when you're rejecting it. There's plenty of times I was doing my own thing, and this man was like, "Girl, come on, redirect."
How many beatings you got? How many whoopings you got?
Listen,
How many whoopings? Listen, that's his discipline.
Yeah.
All that pain we feel, all that heartache, that's discipline. Because guess what? God doesn't want us to feel that. He don't want us to go through those hard, like, don't get me wrong, we're going to go through some challenges, but he does not want to hurt his children.
Yeah.
He does not want to hurt his children.
He allows it so that we can be shaped and formed.
Sure that you can be shaped.
Yeah.
And hopefully so that you don't turn back. Because listen, when he brought you out of Egypt and he parted the sea, and then when you got to the other side, he closed it. Because he didn't want you to go back.
Ain't no way. The one way out is turning back. Right. That's so good. That's so
good. He don't want you to go back to slavery. Yeah. Being mistreated because he loves you.
Yeah.
I always say, man, I love that story about God bringing them out of Egypt. Because I be like, oh, he done brought me out of so many Egypts. I done been to Egypt so many times. Oh, my Lord. I be like, oh, that relationship was definitely Egypt. Yeah.
The wilderness. Yeah. And they thought that
some of the relationships.
They thought that they wanted to go back. They started to glamorize it when they looked like they were closed in. And that's what happens, right? When the pressure, we don't got the job yet. You know, we're in this space. God, where's the resources? Where's the relationship you promised me? Where's the community? You are closed in. They were closed in. The very place that God told them to go was what looked like they were closed in. That's when they started to tell Moses, why did you bring me here? We could have been slaves. We could have been. Now you're glamorizing. Oh, I feel convicted because you glamorizing the past. You glamorizing these relationships.
What could have been, what should have been.
Where you were miserable, where you were tired, where you were overperformed. You weren't even functioning at your best. And now you're glamorizing it because it looks like this is uncomfortable.
Like I haven't been better.
And what happened? God told us go. Don't go.
But you know why else? Because that was comfortable.
Ooh, that part.
Right? We knew exactly what it was going to be like when we woke up. We knew when we woke up, we was going to be miserable. We was going to be beaten. Our children was going to be mistreated. But at least we knew what to expect from those masters.
Yes, the familiar. Because it's familiar.
Right? And we always say, don't get stuck in places that don't serve you just because it's familiar, just because it's comfortable. We don't grow in comfort. We don't win in comfort. We don't succeed in comfort.
That's so good.
Right? Nothing promising comes from your comfort zone. Nothing.
Yeah.
And so I think when we think about how do we move forward, it's definitely stepping out of that comfort zone to really get to know who you are without all the noise.
Without your mama, your best
friend.
Without
your mom, that's right. Your best friend. This is not a conversation for them. I hate when people say, like, I mean, you know, I'm a coach and I coach differently. But when I hear coaches say, you know, you want to know who you are, like, ask your friends, like, what is the greatest thing about you? That's what? This is your business.
Child, they don't even know what they
don't even know themselves. How are they going to tell you about you?
Yeah.
Right? But it's so many people struggle to sit with themselves. You have to learn how to sit with yourself, because I know one thing, when I'm with myself, God is right there with me. I'm never lonely. I'm never lonely. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that is the key, right? To getting on the right path is learning who you are at your core.
Y'all, this was so good. Ain't no way I'm not going. I got to figure out how to make this bite size and share it, because Carmen just, this was nothing that we planned. That's how you know it's God, and that's how you know the Spirit is moving, because it's just like.
But ain't it always like that when we get together?
It is. It always is. It always is, and I love it here. I love it here, guys. Y'all got to have a snippet, just a snippet of my girl Carmen. Okay, I get to have her in my life. Okay, this is why I love KEISHUARY, because I get to share the people in my life who really are just amazing people. I really, sometimes I just be like, God, how did this even happen, right? You guys make sure you follow Coach Carmen B on all platforms. She also has a podcast too. Tune
Walk
into
in Power.
Walk in Power. She has t-shirts too, and it's a heel, and it's very powerful. I love my shirt, actually. Matter of fact, I need to wear that this week. But yes, y'all, definitely support her. Definitely follow her. This will not be the last. I think I have to. Listen. This is our last week of the streaming, but I need Carmen back. I need Carmen.
This was great. Listen, I always love being here. I love any opportunity to fellowship with you, Keish. Like, you know, watching you, being your friend, loving you, all of those things contribute to filling my cup. I appreciate you. I love everything you do and all of who you are, girl. So never change, boo, because you are amazing. Okay.
And ain't nothing left to say. Listen, this is how you build each other's houses, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Some community.
Get you some friends, honey, you can build with.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna tell you right there. Get you some wise.
Wise, that part.
And guess what? Wise recognize wise.
That is very
right. So strengthen your wiseness. I'm not going to say strengthen your wisdom because it's already there. Strengthen your ability to tap in to your wisdom to become a wiser woman.
On that note, y'all, we ain't nothing left to say. Carmen said it. Love you. Thank you for being here, guys. This is the last week of KEISHUARY. It's all right. We will be here tomorrow and the day after until the 28th. So tune in. I will see you guys next time. Bye.